Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh, oh no. Looks like my broadcast was deleted on Facebook. How dare they? The stream to Facebook created a new broadcast. They just removed the station from the broadcast and re-added it.
Yeah,
That's
just
ridiculous.
just jump me back down to friends here. We're public again. Oof. There's our notification. No,
Yeah,
that's not our notification.
how dare it?
I get all my notifications as soon as you go live.
Yeah,
Everybody else that's live.
is that right?
Yep.
Well, I can't believe I've been. It won't let me go live from my account, but that's fine. That's fine. I don't have to go live from my account. It's fine. Whatever. Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to Indie Vote Live. I am your host, founder of Indie Vote Media LLC, Varian M. Grant. That's me. You can call me the kid. Anyway, I've
Because
been making.
because he's probably the youngest one here. Come on in, have a seat. There's room here in the front.
I've been making comics way back since 2008. That's right, 2008. I think that qualifies as the early alts. Is that it? So yeah, I've been there since 2008 making indie comics, and here I am. Started Indie Vote Media LLC 3 years ago. We just celebrated our third birthday. Very happy about that. IndieVote.com, Indie Vote Radio, Indie Vote TV are doing very well. My mother's very proud of me, and so yeah. There's that. Of course, we're coming to you live right now on Indie Vote Radio. Want to shout out some of you nice countries that are listening in right now. Want to say what's up to the UK? What's
Hol-
up to
Hola, Fly Fox Pro. Hola.
Hola?
Bob
And
says, sup ass
some
boys.
bad boys.
Sup
Deep
ass
state.
boys.
Hashtag.
Deep state.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Indie Vote Radio numbers right now sitting at Randy, chilly 15,000.
You just started.
Yeah, but it's
You just turned the switches on. I saw the toggle switches just got turned. So
that's cold. I don't
well,
want.
it picks up. You know, it picks up. We're on a 20-minute lag anyway with some of these countries.
Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. Tonight we got some Florida man goodness. We got some other people popping in, and of course, as always, we're gonna answer your questions. I got my host with me.
Did you introduce yourself first?
Well, yeah, I told him I was Varian Grant. Started making comics in 2008. Haven't failed yet. I've been failing upwards ever since.
Failing upwards. We also have the indie princess with us.
That's right, Lola. She just waves. Silent bobbers. That's right.
Silent bobbers. Dave the Supreme is in the house. Hello, everyone. Hello,
Dave
Dave.
is the brain. Dave, my
Hope
son
you are
almost, my son almost kicked out the house today. He said, "You know the Dave." I'm like, what? Because he's read one of Rob Anderson's books, and I'm like,
the Dave.
Yeah, you know the Dave.
He knows the Dave too.
Yeah, but he's like, you know the Dave. Like, what the hell, the Dave? What are you talking about? I know that. What, the Dave? What kind of crap is that? Anyway, Dave, you're off my friends list. My son likes you better than me. Anyway,
From the birthday party.
yeah. You're just off my friends list. I'm taking you off right now. Randy Zimmerman. Hello, sir. Who are you?
Hello, I am Randy Zimmerman. I am an alternative and independent comics creator. Been doing this for many years. Done just about everything in this comic market except be a cog for the mainstream. So did a little distributing, did a little retailing, did my own newspaper, comics and entertainment newspaper that I circulated around my local county. 10,000 copies for 100 issues a monthly. We had little red boxes around. You can get a free funny paper. But now I'm an award-winning commercial and graphic artist whose main specialty is sequential art for advertising. Because, I can charge them advertising rates as opposed to comic page rates. And it pays a little better.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
other than that, I do the Zim Geek channel here on YouTube, ZIMMGEEK, and I'm here on the Indie Vault with the Indie Princess and Varian.
And today we got a guest. You're gonna introduce yourself. Part of the Florida Man team, which is if you haven't heard about Florida Man, you must be living in Texas. So we're going to talk to one of the creative minds behind Florida Man. Come on in, sir.
He's already here.
Okay, we hear him.
We've had him here. Todd.
Really
Todd,
quiet.
right? Introduce yourself.
How are you? It's good to be here. Thanks for that introduction. They have heard of Florida Man everywhere.
Everybody has.
Now let's just get them to
they just
hear
haven't seen
about
how great your book is.
novel.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, let's get that out there. So they know what Florida Man is, and obviously the graphic novel leans into that whole trope that there's something in the water, and there
Well,
certainly is.
introduce yourself first.
I'm Todd Maroney, artist. I dabbled in comics in my early 20s and used to go to conventions with my work, and I got a little jaded, and things were just sort of kind of crumbling around me as far as the comic industry. As far as new publishers, there was a bunch of new publishers that I was set to do some work for, and so here we are, many years later, and I've been doing some really good stuff with some really great writers. Working with my third Eisner-winning writer in Mike Barron, and we've created an awesome project called Florida Man the Graphic Novel.
And that's available on Indiegogo right now. It's a campaign that's raging because the product is so great. Chris Brawley's in the house. Hello, Chris. Do you want me to send him a link?
Yeah, sure. If Chris is available, sure.
If Chris he's listening.
Trico Luckins says, "Hey everyone, Trico in the house. Hello, Trico, Professor Trico, and
the professor,
evening professor." Like every time I hear that in X-Men, I think of Trico, which is really unhealthy. I should get that checked. I should really get that checked. So, Randy, as always, Todd, you've seen the show. We normally have some questions that are wrote in. We do have 3 questions pending in Indie Vote Radio right now, but we're going to get to the questions that we have graphics for.
Give me just a second. There we go.
Absolutely. And we like to let Randy read those questions because I like feeding the questions cold. Because it's funny to make Randy do spit takes or
exactly
get triggered by a question, and it's just very funny. It's very funny. I blame myself when Randy turns red and he pulls over the old box, and we kill 20 minutes of air because
you haven't seen him extremely mad yet.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen him extremely mad, but I've seen him extremely temperamental. And
I've gotten angry on this show before. I just haven't lost my temper.
Yeah,
there's a difference, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can see it.
Lola saw you red at a con.
You were like red as a tomato.
Maybe he was just sunburned.
No, the blood rushes to the front of my head and the top of my my beanie. So when I get really mad, you can tell. And I get this look on my face, like tomato red. Yeah.
There's a joke there I'm not going to bother with.
That's fine. I appreciate that, B Lord. Since you're here, B, introduce yourself.
I am the Beast Lord. No, I'm Buddy Lord.
The Beast Lord.
I write Sins of the Fae on Indiegogo right now.
And that book is currently on Indiegogo, like you said. Where is your funding at? I haven't looked at that.
I think it's at like 4,500, something like that. It's still.
Well, we'll take a look at that campaign in a little bit.
Yeah.
Trico says he's claiming the title Indie Professor.
Yeah, man.
I like it.
Yep. See, no infringement.
Yeah, Lola says too close to hers. Pops Van Zandt says, "Why did YouTube kill your Indie Event broadcast while the Florida Man team was on the air?" It's because we had people on that I think. Yeah, I mean, one word, haters. There were people out there saying, "You can't have those guys on," and they were in the Indie Event account and did what they could to get that.
You know what? I think it was Georgia fans.
Well, it was only a temporary hit anyway. It's all back up there and fine now.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't live for a little bit.
I say that lovingly because my dad is a UGA alum, but the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs, they don't like each other.
Yeah. I it's kind of like Michigan and the it's kind of like the Michigan and the Ohio Buckeyes. Oh my goodness! I remember driving down to Ohio, and I forgot like where I was at. So I walk into the hotel, and there's all this Buckeye merchandise. People walking around with Ohio Buckeye shirts on it, flags, and I'm like, whoa.
So I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is a Buckeye?
No idea. I imagine it's somebody who got.
Isn't it kind of like a chestnut that falls from a tree?
I think it is, but what we call a Buckeye in the South is like it's a
Acorn?
chocolate with peanut butter inside.
That's what I
There you go.
thought.
That might be it.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, time to change it. It's racist.
I think it's an Ohio thing. So we're not from Ohio.
Yeah, thankfully.
Todd, where are you from?
Springfield, Massachusetts.
There we go. So we don't know Massachusetts jokes today.
Oh, he's a mass head. That makes total sense.
Where are you at? Where are you at right now, buddy?
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina.
There we go. Okay.
One of those Carolina boys.
We're in Michigan. So
Yeah.
I don't sound like, and I don't know, like, I mean, I work here, but I don't sound like a Carolina boy unless I'm with my cousins or I'm drunk.
get enough beer in you, and y'all start talking Southern.
I had this friend, Daniel Brown. He was born in England, lived in Lower Umpton for like 13 years. Then he moved to Alabama.
Famous writer?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
Go
he
ahead.
a famous mechanic. I don't know.
There we go. Famous mechanic. Awesome.
He would we went to one of those like English import stores, where they have the like sandwich paste and Aero bars and different cereal and crap. So he's talking to this lady behind the counter, and you hear this boy talking like this. He's like, yeah, I asked my aunt, I said, where are my golden oaties and my Aero bar? And I looked at him and I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Randy, let's get over to a question. M3SOZ is joining us. Long time no see.
Shows you how well you really know somebody.
Yeah.
M3SOZ.
Lobster man.
Lobster man sees all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Randy. There's your first question.
Ralph is singing "Stop the Pigeon, Stop the Pigeon" now. Digging up those old 70s cartoon songs. How long should I wait for an Roy?
Return on investment.
ROI.
Oh, ROI.
On an indie comic I've invested in.
There normally there's periods there in ROI. You read it says Roy. It's like Roy.
So is this
What? Is that like a Roy?
champagne? Because that's not how you spell champagne.
Yeah, that's how she spelled it.
Obviously,
All right.
She or he.
Champagne.
Oh wow, no, wait. That's obviously a stripper non de plume.
It's almost like chimpanzee, chimpanzee.
Chimpanzee. It's French.
Yeah.
You never know.
Sounds more Japanese, right? Chimpanzee.
Yeah, there'd be a little accent there at the something that you exclaim when you're shocked. Chimpanzee. On an indie comic I've invested in. You've invested in an indie comic and you're waiting for a return on investment. All depends upon the book that you've invested in. If it's your own project, well, good luck.
I did a toilet flushing effect.
We really need to up our sound effect library. This is Buckeyes from a tree. Geez, learn some nature. M3. Yes, I told you it was like an acorn.
So the whole return on investment thing is really like, is that why you're in this for? Are you in this because you're looking to take an indie comic and you know what? Comics are just all of what you get out of them. And then if you want to sell it, it's all what you can get for it. It's really not, the collector market is there on sort of specialty things. And we've sort of, unfortunately, I think we've taken the comics, the regular monthly periodicals, and we've distilled them by making special versions and alternate covers, and those become more highly sought after because they're limited. And I think that hurts the comic in that sense. When you treat the comic as if you're creating a quick collectible, and you limit it, then the regular version is not treated the same, which it should be treated a certain way after many, many years, and it should hold its value. And usually that value is based on the story and the creators and maybe the arc in itself. So I think that comics have changed a lot over the years.
Well, don't be mistaken, Champagne. If you are buying an indie comic, especially if it's a crowdfunding book, your best bet is to be buying that comic for the enjoyment a lot more than the investment value. It is a small press publication, a print on demand, and you never know where the investments are going to go. But usually, the biggest investments, if you've been collecting comics for a long time, are the rarest ones. So I would suggest if you're buying something for an investment, you don't worry about your instant rate of or return on investment, but just stash it, sit on it, and wait and see if it climbs in value. Watch eBay or whatever. If you really have to buy it for an investment value, most of these, the cool thing about these crowdfunding books is that they're really entertaining. You
Yeah,
should
and
just be buying them for the comic sequential art entertainment.
The other thing is, don't you, like, for instance, say we got to 5 years from now, we got graphic novel number 10. Now, you might have gone from 800 people, like we talked about this for the show. You might have gone from 800 people, and now you're at a 2,000. And a lot of those 2,000 people are going, damn, I really wish I had the first one. So really, that's where your whole return comes from, is the desire. It's, the capitalism idea of supply and demand. Well, the 800 people got it, so only 800 or so may be out there, and you're sitting at a number within the number 10 going, man, how do I do it? So now you're going to have to contact one of those people and see if they're willing to sell it.
And the other thing is, well, we're looking at this question from one way, but I wasn't sure if she or he was referring to a comic they invested in to have made, or a comic that they bought and now they want to resell. So I'm like a little confused. Both of those scenarios for me is going to be a wait and see. I mean, people who bought Walking Dead 1 are happy.
Are they really? Are they?
Well, I mean, they were able to. Most of them were able to sell it for a couple $100 at least. I mean,
So-
the thing about those comics, Champagne, is remember, a book can be worth however much you want it to be. That book can be going in the price guides for $800-900, but when you need the money, you're gonna have to take what you can get, what
Yeah.
someone's willing to pay.
It's only as good as what you can get the other person to buy it for.
Yeah, that might be like $200, and I've seen that happen.
Might be $25. You might be lucky to just get your money back.
Did anybody else want to weigh in on that question?
Lone Star too. Anyway,
Oh, that seemed like a burn.
what? Who? What? No.
Did you guys want the next
Just enjoy. Ralph Griffith says, just enjoy the read.
Yeah.
Says,
I
and
mean, I think
support
that if
what you
you're,
like. That's the cool thing. Support what you like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about indie comics is that you shouldn't be looking for investment. The whole reason that indie comics exist is really to get away from the kind of speculative market that, that sort of like speculation has just destroyed comic book value over the years. And I don't mean value as in monetary or fiscal here. I'm talking actual, like, the substance of the comic book. Because they
And a lot of times readability.
Well, yeah, that is the substance. But yeah, I mean, like the whole thing, the art has gone down because they wanted to create so many of them. Basically you have a pretty cover and then Cal Arts inside, right? Or you have just a ton of guest stars, or you have, hologram cover. Remember, the phase of the 90s, right?
Hey, you leave those chrome and hologram covers alone. They're near and dear to my heart.
There is one other thing that I believe has really kind of hurt the whole collector market in the sense of back issues and stuff, is the CGC. I mean, that was a startup company. Now, that almost is like saying that you can't go to your local comic book shop owner who used to do this for years and grade books because he had a familiarity with it. It's almost like you've taken it out of his hands, and you know what? That should be in their hands. They put their life's work into this. They know how to do that. So now everyone's sending their books out to be slabbed and graded, and I'm not really a big fan of that, to be honest.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I mean, look, I seen that. We watched a documentary, comic books. I think it's called Comic Book Store America. And it was a very interesting documentary, but the gentleman on it was like, he went to a couple stores, and he went to a store owned by, I forget which musician, but they had a back vault room that was full of comics.
Oh, yeah, that was in LA. We've got a comics vault, and it's all lined with slabbed books, and I'm like going, holy crap, there's somebody's target right there.
Yeah,
Somebody's going to back their truck right up to that vault.
It was there was
It's a
some
lot of
big
classic
money
books, though. A lot of awesome, just really top money stuff.
and in really good condition too. So
But he's like, look at this. Here's my Amazing Fantasy 15 graded
Yeah.
9.4.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap, dude.
yeah,
You're here showing that all off in line.
yeah. It's like you start wondering like, can I hit him? Can I knock him out? Can I
Hope
get
you got
16?
insurance. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna share the next question, Randy. It's your read
Everyone wants the next TMNT.
number one. They do.
The real key there is to support what you're like. If you're doing your own project, Champagne, you might not make money. You might make sure you do it for the love of it, especially if it's a crowdfunding book, and have fun with it. Somebody who's got my name, damn it. I hope it's a good. I hope it's a good comment. I wouldn't bank on the indie comics boom. Oh, I've seen this before in the '90s. I'm far older than most of you on that chat. Don't be fooled, younglings.
Okay, when did you write this, Randy?
I didn't write it at all.
Yeah, I think it's the Randy that wrote in before with the store owner.
Yeah, it could be.
And
It's not me. I swear it's not me.
I didn't check the email. I just grabbed the questions and threw them in because I wasn't feeling well today. But
Yeah.
I will tell you this, Randy, you talk about the black and white bust and then the '90s. Bust.
That wasn't. Yeah, well, that was like the early '90s, the black and white bust. That was Image, that came in, and a lot of really subpar black and white books that came through. Sulson comes to mind, Samurai Santa, and Invisible World, and there was a whole bunch of little embarrassing books that the retailers invested on, thinking that they had the next TMNT and didn't. So
I do have something to add to this, because because of his skepticism about this. Look, here's a huge reason why indie comics there is even a boom, is because domestically, as a creator, as an artist, working at Marvel and DC, okay, in the 70s and 80s, Neil Adams got on the if you were an artist on the top tier books, they called the A-list books, you were making $600 a page. When Jim Lee left X-Men to go start Image, he was making $250 a page. Right now, we're talking, it's 2020. The A-list artist on Superman, Batman, other than exclusive artists, because that's a completely different contract. But if you're a freelancer and you get a chance to work on Batman or Superman, you're making anywhere from $250, $300 a page. What have you seen happen? You've actually seen inflation go this way, price of living go this way, and being a creator and using your talent go down.
Hey, Jim.
So that is exactly why we're in this situation where you're seeing a lot of this, because page rates aren't livable wages for a domestic creator.
And those page rates go up really high when they're not in the U.S. Like when they go out the country to like the Philippines, you offer one of those guys $75 a page. I mean, they'll bend over backward for you.
the dollar means a whole different value over there.
Yeah,
Argentina
and there was some pushback from that with certain people, right? It was like, hey, why are you hiring out the country, selling these books here in America? I mean, what's going on? There was some pushback, but let's see.
Well, now they just hire people from Tumblr.
Yeah. Now you have to have a Tumblr account. You're good.
Well, there's a long, ever since comics started, the artist and creator in comics has always been treated very much as a second-class citizen in comics. The lower rungs below the executives, just almost as an also-ran. Very rarely have you seen a comic artist hit demigod or superstar status. Those creators are very few and far between, and yet you've had all these powerhouse workhorses, literally, who are there, always hitting a deadline, always making it every month, and you had to make it every month because that page rate was so low. And folks that could do heavy page turnarounds and stuff like that, who made the ones that made the good livings back then, are the ones that were the hardcore workhorses that were doing multiple pages constantly. That stems back right from the inception of comic books being looked at down the nose by publishers, not as good as comic strips, who were getting half of the money that the newspapers were paying the syndicates. That definitely didn't happen in comic books. They ended up getting the short end of the stick. Always have. Look at how long it took. Speaking of Neil Adams, how long it took Siegel and Schuster to get a living. You know, off of creating Superman, while the company made literally billions off of them. And even recently, look at how long it's taken Marvel to catch up and pay something of a royalty back to the creators on the MCU movies. You know, I think it took them being shamed by Bill Mantlo being an invalid in a nursing home before they realized that maybe they should start doing not a great royalty program, but a decent enough royalty program so that these guys can get a little something off of the billions of dollars they were making off of their characters.
I want to bring attention to Jim O'Reilly said, "Back Florida Man on Indiegogo looks like a fun book." Hey, Jim, if you want to pop in, you're more than welcome to. Let me know. I'll send you a link. Pop says, "Are any indie people printing millions of worthless copies? Completely different animal. Indie fans buying books that they want, not what the big three are forcing on them."
That's very true.
Yeah. M3SOZ says, maybe because Marvel.
I know one indie person that's printing worthless copies.
No.
What was that?
Go ahead. What'd you say?
Pop that mic up.
I said I know one person that's printing worthless copies.
Okay.
So, there is one person.
She's throwing shade.
She's drawing shade.
She's throwing shade.
They shall remain. Speaking of drawing shade, M3SOZ says maybe because Marvel and DC were taken over by corporate F-holes. Well, sorry, M3SOZ, but they've always had corporate F-holes up there. They just now have bigger ones.
So like a finger hole, you know?
Yeah. That's what it is.
I want to be a finger hole. Ralph Griffin says, in today's comics reader has choice like never before. Jim can't. Sorry. That's okay, Jim. We still need to get you on Art Award at some point, one of these Fridays. Pop says, but not by the millions, LOL, by the tens. Yep, that's correct, Pop says. Yeah,
and barely that.
Yeah, he printed that book by the tens. One last question, Randy. Last question.
Not another one from Randy, is it?
No, it's from our other famous person. Our person who loves to write in. Mr.
M3SOZ?
No, Mr. Dennis Lyle. Right.
Dennis.
Yeah, question for Lola.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Lola should move in with me. I could love that body right. Well, my friend, that's a question that we should be taking up on the next episode of Geekgasm.
Yeah.
On Indie Volt, usually on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m.
He is. I typed that one very fast because I seen it and I said, "Oh, Dennis Lyle." I love Tim Bear's Lola on the show. It's very fun. So thanks, Dennis, for that one. He wants to.
Thanks for the suggestion, but no.
He wants to love that body right. Not like the Prince song. I'm gonna bust that body. Ooh yeah. You guys remember that Prince song? It was awesome. That's all the questions we got for tonight. So.
How dare you?
So let's move into some of these books. Let's pull up. Now, Todd's sharing the screen. I'll pull up here. It looks like some Florida Man action. And you, wife, and her 200K walking out the door.
Todd, are you sure you're not Paul Gulacy?
Well, it's funny because...
Are you Paul Gulacy in disguise?
No, but
No?
He would fit that similar mold because my big influences are Butch Geist and Steve Epting and
right
Mike
in that
Perkins.
time period.
Yeah, in that same kind of there's a realism and there's a line work that creates that illusion, and I think we're creating a similar type of illusion.
We got to go bow fishing.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty cool page. I really love looking at black and white art. I used to not like it, and then obviously you get older and you're like, man, there's like, have you guys ever seen a page that get killed by bad color?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But on the other hand, there's some incredibly good colorists out there. It's just that they're very few and far between.
Yeah.
Especially now because the paper can take on the entire spectrum. It's not like you have to sit there and figure out the dot ratios like in the old days.
There's a few artists that were working at Valiant, Miko Soyen and Louis LaRosa, that I felt like their their colorists really had to figure them out before he could actually, color them well. Because I don't think it at first, Brian Reber, this was the colors, was really allowing that artwork to really speak for itself, and so he had to kind of find a way, because they do all kinds of tones, right? Their ink looks like, just their inked pages is, you could probably find 10 different variations of black in there, of different degrees of neutrality in there. And he had to really kind of find how to work with that, because those type of guys are really tricky. Now I see a guy like Chris Sotomayor coloring Miko Soyan over at Marvel, because he's doing some of these colors, and you see sort of different results. And I think it's really, when you got guys putting that kind of love to their pages, it's really tricky for a colorist. Me, I'm trying to find a way for the colorist to really have his own voice within my work. So I reeled back some of the balance. I mentioned Steve Epton. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a book called Velvet, sort of a masterclass, if you ask me, in comics, as far as storytelling, coloring, synergy between color and artists and stuff. Velvet's one of the top books. As far as, if I were to use any book for a teaching book, it would be books like Velvet and Tom Coker's Black Monday Murders. These books are really, really superior. But I pulled back a little bit of my balance, because this is a book that has comedic elements. So I didn't want it to have that heavy noir look that I usually give, because that's kind of a different look. It doesn't work for this. So some of my balance has been reeled in a little bit.
Jim O'Reilly says, speaking of industry pros needing help, please check out Mark McKenna's Banana Tales book on Kickstarter. Mark has over 7K pages to his credit, inking from Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, etc. And Rod Mahan says, Jim O'Reilly, back Age of Remnants. Everyone's trying to get their book out there to get back. We appreciate it, guys. Right now, indie book numbers, radio numbers, climbing through the roof there. We're at 37,810 people listening. Thank you, guys. I want to thank Japan, the UK, France, and Russia. Russia back on there. Didn't see them since the indie event that we just had wrapped up last weekend, which saw some very impressive numbers.
So see, look, like if you want to get into some international trade marketing, you need to back Florida Man, and back Sins of the Fae. You need to pick them both up. I would say, for Florida Man, I mean, you need to grab the towel, the lunchbox, because you're going to want something to eat while you're reading this book.
We haven't gone through the campaign yet, B-Lord. Let's swing through that. And
I'm
look
just
at all of the tchotchkes that you can get. There's some awesome stuff.
It's like in a test. They tell you, like in a test, you read the questions first and then you read the composition, so that you already know what you're looking for, right? So you already know what you're looking for now. You're looking to get that towel. You're looking to get that lunchbox. You want the book. I don't know what else we got, Todd.
Do you have that up, Varian, or you want me to pull up the campaign? I've got it right now if you want it.
Got it.
Yeah, you can take down my. I just wanted to show what I was working on.
All right.
That is incredible.
Thank you for pulling it up.
No problem. All right, let me share your campaign here. Florida Man graphic novel, right there on Indiegogo, currently funding. Florida Man graphic novel, and it's the hilarious tales of a larger-than-life figure from the magical land of Florida, USA. Was 56 pages, now 64 pages. That Mr. Barron has to put together, but he says that's not a problem. He's got material for years. Look at these tiers here. So the Florida Man Beach Party bundle, $150. 21 of those claims so far, so you probably want to get in there very quick. I'm not sure there's a limit, but quicker you are, the better. You still got 19 days left on this campaign, but the quicker, the better.
That tier, by the way, is everything. It's the whole kit caboodle.
Okay.
You want to run the trailer again?
Yeah, I'll run the trailer, but last time I did, they pulled it, so I'm not sure if it was the music or if it was the newscast that was before it.
Are you sure it was the trailer?
That's when they pulled us.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if it was that or if it was, I don't know what it was, but they figured some way to pull us. So I can.
We're bringing back funny bucks, y'all.
Yeah, which I love that part. But I won't play the trailer. We can pull the trailer.
He did it a lot better than I can. So
you can always pop it up without sound if you have to.
Yeah. Here we go. Florida Man graphic novel, which is.
Everybody knows about Florida Man. It's all over the news.
Mike Barron, Tell him, Rooney. That's him. He's on our show.
Doing Florida Man.
House suspenders. Those are neat.
We should
Yeah,
probably
Gary-
be talking over this for our radio audience.
Yeah, Gary's one of these guys that's trying to get rich, and comes up with all kinds of schemes. The schemes kind of lend him into the idea that he does some ridiculous things. It's one snowball after another. Gary's never having a good day. He's always having a bad day.
This artwork is really cool. And
I think that woman's about to have a bad day. Her face is going to be smashed into the mat.
yeah, she's about to get.
That's a different kind of nose job, isn't it?
That's the nose job. That's the impromptu one. It's the one that you get that makes you need a nose job. Although I think I did see a guy get his nose broke one time. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Crowdfunding now on Indiegogo. Guys, get into this. This book was too hot for Reddit. If you didn't know, Reddit pulled the book. Reddit pulled any mention, said that this book cannot be mentioned on their site. And did they ban the posters?
They banned Chris Brawley from Bleeding Fool he cannot post in the comic book subreddit.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Ever again. It's like wow.
He dared to speak out against the overlords.
Yeah.
And we would have Chris on now, but he said it's his wife night.
Yeah.
So happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's the wife
Wish him
tonight?
the best. No, that's not what that means at all. Lord. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Randy's like, that's not how this works. Are you sure?
Last time I knew, yes.
I think he's, if he answers in a high voice and he's like, wait, I got to take my heels off. I mean, who knows?
There we go.
I personally wouldn't.
When did you have wife night?
I used to have wife night
There we go. Uh-oh.
way before.
Uh-oh, we're getting
Wait.
Varian in trouble.
Getting very in trouble.
Way before you.
So what does that mean, Lola? Is he gonna make you food or something, or what happens on wife night?
I would like to know too.
Yeah, she would like to know. Wife night is
Uh-oh.
Never experienced it.
yeah. Oh, BS. The wife night is
Suddenly there's a new tradition in the Grant household.
wife night is me putting up with her. That's what it is. It's you have to understand. I joked about this, but I discovered it this week.
You about to move into couch night,
Oh, I love the couch. Yeah, I love the couch. I love the couch in my office. It's great.
He doesn't get the elbow then every time he snores.
I discovered this about Lola, and it's very funny. Lola's quiet on the show, but what you guys don't know is that Lola actually, we were talking about the question that we had on the show the other day, and I thought about it. Lola has no internal monologue. She doesn't think in her head. Like I asked her, "Do you hear yourself?" She's like, "No, I don't talk to myself. It all comes out." So
that's an actual psychological condition.
yes, and she will just she will, like, if something's not right on her computer, everyone's gonna hear about it until it gets fixed. Louder and louder and louder. She'll throw the computer across the room. If she doesn't have an internal monologue, she has nothing there. You picked the computer up a few times.
I think I have too much of an internal monologue.
Yeah.
I'll talk to myself so much I think I've done something and I haven't.
So when we're looking at the campaign, and you've got right now currently $23,225, you're way over your goal. This book ships out in Christmas.
Not enough backers. More backers, please. Pops Van Zandt says, "Do it."
Yeah, 6 copies for $100. Give them to your friends. Look, listen. You drop $100. You got 6 friends who love comics. Give them this one. They're gonna love it. It's one of those gifts that I think when you like, I once it's one of those books where you don't want to loan somebody because you might not get it back. So buy 6 copies.
Yeah.
That way, hey, can I borrow that? Here, yeah, you can borrow it. And if you don't get it back, well,
We sent out an email either today or yesterday to all the Florida stores, and we really wanted to do something for them. We know they're hurting, and it may be hard for them to do something, but we wanted to do something special for them. And I can't really give it away because it was something for them, right? We want our book to be in Florida stores. We think it'll do well there. So we created an email. We're giving them some things, some extra things, point of service type stuff, and we just want them to know. Now, they, like I said, they're hurting. They may not do something this time, but they'll remember us. When things get better, and their stores are reopened and their state is in much better shape, they'll remember. So the next campaign, when we do a similar type thing, they're going to go, these guys, you know what? They really tried to do something.
Oh, so you're giving the veneer of benevolence, but you're actually Machiavellian in your capitalism.
I guess. No, you know what I mean. If you're going to do something right, and right now the country's in terrible shape. The stores are closing. They're not able to get to their customers. Their customers are picking up stuff curbside. Well, granted, they may not be able to put the money down for 6 copies or anything like that. So you know what? At least we met them where they asked us to meet them, because I had a conversation with them. So we met them where they asked us to, and then even if they can't find the funds to do it this time, they can do it next time.
I think it's really cool that you guys did that, but I do have a question for you. And you don't have to answer if you don't want, but did you get anybody, you don't have to say the store, but did you get any stores saying, oh no, you got the kick off of Reddit, I won't have that book in my store? Anything
No,
like that,
not at all. No,
that's really good. That's good.
That's the Reddit thing. Look, people can look at it one way or the other, but what are we providing? And what is Mike? He came on your show. What did he say? My number one job is to entertain you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My number one job is to entertain you. You can kind of already see that I'm not a flashy artist. I'm not trying to do that image style. I'm a storyteller. Those are the guys to me that were the best. You know, whether wrong or right, but I looked at those guys as my champions of comics. Look what Lee Weeks did with that Batman story. It was like the 12 Angry Men. I mean, those guys are the guys I want to be like. So telling you a story visually is the most important thing. I'm not here to have, my character doesn't fly. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He'll catch some air, but it isn't going to be because he you know what I mean? He's not
in the go-kart.
right? Or in a car,
On
like
the airboat.
a hazard. But this is a different kind of story. So, I have to treat it a different way. And I found my approach. And I think, the idea of just, first off, doing my job as a storyteller. Secondly, throwing some things in the background, like cool cars. And there's a lot of beautiful women and this, that, and everything. Obviously, there'll be a lot of chance to, when we get to the wrestling scene.
Hello, Meredith.
I got a lot of people.
Meredith.
How you doing, Meredith? I got a lot of people to add into this comic that have really helped the campaign. So I got a list of Pops is on that list, his son's on that list, and a few other people who you know what, they're helping us. When you share it, when I throw up a post, you share it or retweet it, to me, you're helping me, because your 100 people that you have, maybe we only have 10 people in common. So then, that's 90 people that wouldn't have saw what I posted unless you shared it.
Sure.
And so those people are going to be in the book.
Absolutely.
Sorry about that. I had to step away for a minute. But so let's we were looking at your campaign, and it is 19 days to go. Listen, if you're listening on Indie Radio, you want to pop over to Indiegogo, type in Florida Man. That's all you got to type in. Florida Man. You can type in Florida Man graphic.
Florida Man, 2 words.
You definitely want to get the shipping worldwide. They're going to ship them worldwide, so you can get in there and get this book. I think that it is one of the books I'm most excited for this year. There's a couple of them. It's like I got 10 books I'm really excited for. So hopefully the mail is straightened out by December.
You don't see a whole lot of laugh out loud funny books out on the market very often. And you can look, all you have to do is see the cover of this book with the main character riding an alligator flying over top of some folks' cars. That to know with the palm trees in the background, it's Florida, and it's going to be a fun, funny book.
You want to hear a funny story?
Does it end
I worked
well?
for it. Yeah, maybe not for the person that was the recipient. It kind of reminds me that when I worked at Sikorsky, I knew a dude that I didn't quite like. And Sikorsky in Florida, you may know what this looks like. Todd, you said you were out in that area, right? West Palm Beach area. And West Palm Beach, they used to have a big Sikorsky field, and they had as you're driving in, there are these two ponds, and the two ponds are always they literally stock them with alligators. And so I was like, okay, cool, one day this guy really pissed me off. I'm a Florida boy. I've been collecting, frogs and fish and everything else since I was 4 to 6 years old. So I grabbed a baby alligator and put it in the back of his car.
Ooh. The Italians, we used to do something like that, but different.
It was like that, but it was different.
But put a baby alligator in the back of his car. I was driving home. I saw him in the ditch.
Wow.
Crime committed.
So, the cover, I'm glad you bring up the cover, because the cover had gotten out there over a year ago, right? And this is basically a synergy with me and Brett R. Smith. This is, as much as the magic is both of us. This is not me. This was just a great idea that Mike wanted. I executed it. But as far as the home run go, I give that to Brett R. Smith, who colored it beautifully and added some elements that weren't there in the line work. And so he gets a lot of credit,
Yeah.
Smith is a professional.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's he's a stalwart professional. He's got a lot of different coloring styles too. He's got a really wide palette.
Like my mouth, a very wide palate. I've been eating a lot of food lately. Let's check out Sins of the Fae real quick. Now this is Buddy's book, and now we're gonna roast his book. I'm just kidding. It's your turn on the chopping block, Buddy.
Dun dun dun.
Let's take a look at it. Sins of the Fae, also Indiegogo, $4,645. You got 23 days left. So if you are listening to Indiegogo Radio, and I know 46,210 of you are, pop over to Indiegogo. Sins of the Fae. That's Sins of the FAE. Check that out. He's already funded. He's got 23 days left to go, though. Another book. Now, I joke with Buddy about dragons, and
he wants this dragon, in a miniature, and he wants this dragon in a miniature.
Yeah, imagine the cosplay opportunities with the dragon.
Well, we just released our villain, which is what I consider. She's a redeemable villain in the entire series, so I consider her our Darth Vader, because this is like an American fairy tale. So let me see, it should be here. Hold on, but we just released her in the if I have to, I'll forget. I'll just go to updates. Her name is Rowena.
Redhead.
Rowena.
Yeah, Rowena Piper Pennington. She is the Pied Piper of Hamelin if she were a succubus that drenched her clothes in the blood of humans.
I do love succubuses, and I love redheads even more. Which is I do love.
This beautiful painting was done by Xevious, but anyways, it's I love it because she's got this cloak, look kind of like a wing. And then she's a flautist. She plays the flute. She can actually play any instrument, but the instrument that was given to her by the man that she loved was a silver flute.
See that? I just see her holding a phallic-shaped object in her hand. I know what you're going for, buddy. I know what you're doing.
Well, she's got a katana. Yeah, she's got two of them. But if you like, Lord of the Rings, if you like Star Wars, if you like any of the what I would call a fairy tale by Jack Zipes. Jack Zipes was a scholar of fairy tales, and he said that they were survival stories with hope. So if you like survival stories with hope, then you will love Sins of the Fae. And, the tagline is, a family marked for death by awakening gods must heed the call of war. It's time to fight back.
And your book is, you can get cover A and B for $45. Which, if you're like me, you have trouble figuring out which cover you're going to get. You got two options.
Absolutely. Yeah,
you can get both of them right there in that one. Digital copy will be $10. So you are shipping worldwide, but that digital copy will make sure, just in case there's some problem with your country, no books from those dirty Americans. You can get it digitally, email it over to you. Although I'm pretty sure some people block emails too.
Yeah, we've had a surge a little bit on the cover B. Like people really like the coloring in cover B. Actually, Adam Lawson, the guy who put together the 8th comic book, he bought it and he said he got B because he just loved the colors.
It's very now, if you did it in Chrome, man, I've been all over it. You guys know I love Chrome. I'm a sucker for Chrome comics and holograms. I know that Todd joked about it earlier, but I've joked about that. You guys remember that Clive Barker Hyperkind comic?
Mm-hmm.
I own like 9 of those, and every time I go through the comic shop, if they got them, I grab them. It's like 35 something. I gotta have it. So when they find me dead in my house, I'll be surrounded by a bunch of fucking Hyperkind covers for comics.
And your wife keeps going, you already have that.
Yeah. She's like, why do you keep buying this book? Look at it. It's what is it? And I'm like, it's Hyperkind. Look at that cover. I remember paying good money for that cover too. Really, really good money for that cover. So it's weird now to see it for like 35 cents or 2 for $1 at Second and Charles. But every time I see it, I grab it. Gotta pick it up.
Sometimes owning all of the books can make it more rare.
Yeah, I figure if I just keep buying them, eventually I'll have them all. And
Like Pokemon.
I'm just gonna buy all the books. I'm gonna buy the book 10 times, or 10 more times, and then I'll have like 70 of them. And then I'll like say super rare. It's a super rare Hyperkind cover. Signed by Clive Barker. Does anybody know what Clive's signature looks like?
Just a little bit of a Google search and you can.
Yeah.
We can figure it out. Yeah.
Hey, we could.
I'm sure there's an app for that.
Yeah. A tracing app. We can just trace the app, trace the logo on there, or just get a nice stamp.
I mean, you could put what is it? The face masking, right? Like we can put anybody's face on any actor in any movie now. So.
Yeah, we could. That'd be kind of cool. We can have Clive Barker back at Collins. Rand, you remember that book?
Which one? Hyperkind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the wife's a really big Clive Barker fan. She'd collect all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I ever read the book. Just the cover as a kid, I was like, look, these guys look awesome. He looks like Wolverine, and he looks like Cyclops, and I'm going to make them all. They're going to all be mine. So I want to shout out to our listeners right now. We have 48,000 people listening, 48,210 people listening. Thanks to Italy. Thanks to somebody I've never seen here before. I've never seen Switzerland on here.
I wonder if all these people understand us.
Is it a good number?
They were showing me the individual numbers at first, and they stopped. They stopped showing me individual numbers. So now they just show me which number. They show me by percentage.
Which countries? Yeah. We appreciate each and every one of you listening on Indie Volt Radio. Believe me. Thanks for listening.
If you're in Italy, make sure you back Florida Man, because I am an Italian.
There we go. It's Florida Man. Two words.
Back into the Fae, because I said so.
But Buddy's nondescript.
That's right. I'm pretty indiscriminate. Yeah. So everyone backs into the Fae. I don't care where you are.
The art in it is excellent. If you're looking for 2 great projects, you can't go wrong. Me and Buddy keep getting teamed up. We've been on, this is our 3rd show together. And we're lucky because both our books are done by, well, I mean, the art in them is great. Put it that way. Xevious is an excellent artist. Just this stuff, just, that's what you want, right? You want the independent market to sort of, you want the cream to rise to the top. You want the really good stuff. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't back. You should back independent comics, because you know what? We're gonna provide you with escapism, and Sins of the Fae is a fairy tale. It's awesome looking.
Yeah. I think like what we need right now in these trying times is heroes, hope, and humor. I'll bring the heroes and hope, and Todd can bring the humor.
Excellent.
Brandon Spy, right? Spy? Wouldn't you Spy? Says, thanks for showing off that Florida Man. That work looks stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brandon, you can buy 3 of them.
Take a look at these books and invest if you can. They are both excellent.
Yeah, I mean, we pushed it a little bit, but I'm really like, just buy it if you dig it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to create beautiful work for everybody. This is from our heart. This is what what we love to do. I mean, I'm a writer. These are stories I want to tell. Todd, just like he said, he's a storyteller. There's nothing better to him than telling a story visually. So I mean, like we're pushing it because we're capitalists. You know what I mean? And this is what we do. We're salesmen at this time, and we're gonna market our own stuff. But buy it if you dig it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of being capitalists, from Indie Volt Radio, we do have a question. Wow, this is from Roger. Roger doesn't say where he's from.
Roger.
Yeah, but he wants to know: is there anywhere he can read these? The books look. He says the books he's seen on the show previously have looked awesome. Because obviously he can't see on Indie Volt Radio, but he wants to know: is there anywhere he can read these books for free? Roger, I will tell you, there's probably very little place you can read these books for free unless the creator decides to put up like a couple of free pages. I would suggest if you're looking for free comics, Webtoon. There's a lot of artists and creators who post.
I mean, if you want to read Sins of the Fae, you can join my mailing list at bladeknight.com, and I'll included within that is a free PDF of the first 15 chapters of the book that it's based on. So
yeah, you get the novelization, correct? It's
it's not really like this is the comic bookization of the novel.
Cool.
But
also, Roger, keep in mind that this is all work that people have spent hours creating for you, and they are selling it. So don't be afraid to loosen up your wallet a little and actually buy these books.
Yeah, I think that if you like a lot of these creators, I've seen people say, hey, you can check out issue 1 for free because I'm getting ready to launch issue 3 and 4. So here's issue number 1 for free, a limited time PDF you can check out. But you have to look around for that. But if you're looking for free comics to read, without pirating, and we hope you're not trying to pirate, then webtoon.com is your best bet for that type of thing.
Quietly resisting those remarks about that scanner you have coming.
Yeah. It's coming. I have an awesome scanner coming in the mail. It's got curve
flattening technology.
That's right. They have it's a scanner, and the scanner, the advertising for the scanner, it was an Indiegogo campaign. They make no bones about what it is you can scan. So they have a guy, he's got a wall full of comics, and he's scanning Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. He's just scanning and clicking, and you can scan a whole book in 3 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. It's got a foot pedal, so you can just and it's got the lens has curve flighting technology, so it takes the hump of the book out. I got it coming. I didn't buy it to pirate books. I bought it so when we do reviews on IndieVolt, I don't have to scan the books, fold and put them in my scanner. I bought them because this scanner is like a kind of looks like a oh gosh, kind of looks like a a telescope, Randy, or
what?
Like a telescope, kind of.
What?
It's like shaped like an R. So it has a base, goes up, leans over, comes over, and it has a I forgot how many megapixels the camera is, but it's pretty good. And mine ships tomorrow. Actually, mine should be shipping tomorrow from China. And I understand you guys might feel some type of way about that. Too bad. I won't scan your books, I promise.
Is it coming from Shenzhen?
No. It's I'm not sure where it's coming from.
No. Maybe.
Hey, I'm not sure where it's coming from. Here, I'll be nice.
Like about 40% of everything comes from Shenzhen.
We know you don't plan on using a lot of it because comicsahoy.net bill has not been claimed.
Here we go.
Here, we created the Caesar Aura Scanner, our second campaign on Indiegogo, and you loved it. We created a community of over 20,000 backers and 150,000 users around the world.
It's the same guy that narrates for the Epic Times.
Nintendo Power.
Now we're back. With a scanner like you've never seen before.
Got a book? I got a
This
scanner?
is the Caesar Shine Ultra.
Okay.
Our new super portable
What is the point of scanning a
adjustable
book
scanner with our most
from
advanced
your
tech
school
yet.
library?
Don't-
13
Well, maybe you
full-size
got huge rental
megapixel and
charges.
340 DPI.
What's coming?
Means
What's
you
coming?
get superior quality scans
booksahoy.com.
every time.
Here we go.
The Caesar Shine Ultra features the patented curve flatten technology, which means you can scan anything, and it will give you absolutely flat scans, with colors that are more vivid than ever before. But where the Caesar Shine really shines is how it makes scanning simple. It's completely powered by your laptop, so no extra cables needed. It recognizes more than 180 languages. It's super fast, whether you need to scan one document
Strange.
or 100, with the blazing speed of scanning one page each second. And it's super portable. Carry it with you in your backpack, and you have the power to scan on the go.
Does it
Anywhere.
translate the languages?
And the Caesar Shine
seems
is
to
also
recognize 'em.
capable of recording video while scanning,
Isn't that just image
so
recognition?
you can use it in your presentations. And the adjustable height ensures that you catch the smallest details.
This
Now
is
you
a
can make
weird
copies
We've
of your
worked
commercial.
hard on perfecting the most portable and
It's like having
advanced scanner
a
yet.
a commercial
Back
for
us
shampoo and
be
saying
the
it will
first to
clean
deploy
any
Caesar
hair.
Shine Ultra.
No, seriously, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, it doesn't matter.
I think they use the wrong narrative voice. They need to use more of a pirate voice. Arr. You grab your book off of the shelf and you just record. You press the foot pedal over and over again.
Turn your pages hard.
Arr. Turn them pages. Curve
So you're-
flattening technology.
So you're getting one of those
He's been waiting for that for 6 months.
legal devices.
Legal devices.
I am. I actually I was bestowed one by the company because of Indie Vault. So they were like, "Hey, we're going to send you one, and could you do a review of it?" And maybe people want to.
Oh,
Maybe people want to. They have this idea where they're like, people maybe want to scan their comics and turn them into digital files,
arr.
and like the creators. And I'm like,
So people, if you want to scan your comics to send to your friends, I guess. I can see Todd over there.
Yes, they're friends. Ralph says that's a scary device.
yeah. Todd feels the type of way about this device.
So okay, so how long before
What
people
about
start
money?
scanning their body parts? I'm sure it's already been done.
That's what they call Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder or Tender?
No, Tinder. Tinder. Arr, Tinder.
Todd, how you feel about that?
Take a look at me, Booty.
Would you buy one?
Would I buy one? I don't know. It seems like I'll let you do the work, and
Okay.
I'll look at the books that you scan.
I've got some great public domain
I don't know, man. Doc, I don't want to
that,
look at
that, that you can scan as soon as you get that, so that we can see how well it works.
Okay.
I think Varian's gonna, I don't want to like Dr. Seuss or something. I don't know what's going on.
Because what we do, we'll get that we'll get some good public domain stuff. We'll scan it, then we'll put it in Photoshop, wipe out all of the lettering, and add our own dialogue. It'll be hilarious.
Oh, there's a guy that does that. Commie Mark. He does that. He's doing that with
there's a
with
few of them
gold.
out there. Yeah, there's a couple folks out there
With
that
like
do.
Golden Age comic books right now.
Yeah.
Ralph said that's a scary device.
That
Pop
is a
says,
scary
"What about
device.
money?" Oops. And Brandon says, "It's a camera apparatus. I get it. As a hookup as a stream camera, that would be awesome for the art of War Desk. Yeah, I think it will. I'll get my hands on mine probably this month, very early August, and I'll do a full review of it.
So he could
see what-
scan your or his pictures and send them to you.
Yeah,
And
In
if-
glorious
and if you see-
detail.
If you see regular commercials for it here on Indie Vote, you'll know that we all got one.
This is Pots fan. This is Benjamin. Come over here. And M3SOZ says, "Give a thief the lockpick. I wonder what they would do with it." Yeah, listen, guys, like that scanner. If you look in the comments, like they posted a list of all of the people who are getting one. And like, because people were getting mad, like, "Hey, where's my scanner? I haven't got it yet. I've got books to scan, homework to do."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, well, here's our list. Here's our shipping list." And they put the shipping list up for everyone to see. So you can see if your, if your scanner shipped. And when I looked at the shipping list, they did a Google Drive doc. When I looked at it, I'm like, man, I'm never gonna get my scanner. I'm like number like 17,000 or something like that. But
Oh, so it's like what was it, Beetlejuice at the end? Waiting to get in.
yeah, I'm like, I'll never get so like. There's a scanning info, and you can see. Look, some are going to Republic of Korea, Singapore, Russian Federation, Australia, New Zealand, Russian Federation, Singapore,
comicsahoy.au.
Spain,
Live and
Germany,
well.
Finland. They get more people than we do. Ukraine, Switzerland, yeah, Spain, Italy, and then you get Canada, Japan.
And 3SOZ
Taiwan.
says, give a thief a lockpick. I wonder what they'll do with it.
Yeah. Look at those. So right now over 17,000 because we're.
Ralph says, suddenly lots of Walking Dead #1 start popping out.
Yeah. Right now they're up to shipping 15,400 is what they're up to shipping out. So yeah, fun times, guys. Fun times. Get those scanners.
I can think of a certain Anniverse omnibus that might come in real handy for.
I can imagine the outrage from people now. Brandon says if it's scanned over 11 by 17, then it could be worth it. Oops. For your own work. Goblin Grim has a flatbed that is really big and clunky. Yeah, I got a big ass Epson printer over here. 11. It was a little bit bigger than 11 by 17. Then I got a smaller Epson because I thought I was being funny. I thought it was being slick. Like, well, I'll just print.
How big is its ass?
It's got a big ass. It's got a huge ass. It's nice and curvaceous. It's chunky. Yeah. Ralph says, remember that question about your return on investment? Yeah. I'm going to make so much money. No, I'm not going to scan any books. I'm just scanning pages. So when we do reviews, I can say, look at this panel. This is a great panel.
Wink, wink, wink.
Here's a cover of this book. If I can't get it digitally, because
are you going to review indie books?
Yeah, we're going to review indie books on Indie Vault. We've actually, you got to remember, I'm a kid of the
with curve flattening technology.
That's right. I'm a kid of the '90s, so and you laughed earlier below when you seen the Nintendo Power book. I've always been a big fan of GamePro. So we introduced our mascot a couple weeks ago, Vicky Vault here. And I decided that, you know what I want? I'm still in GamePro's rating system. So here's a new rating system for Indie Vault. So totally stole their design.
Why does 5.0 look like she's giving fellatio?
It does. She's you know what happens is that when the person who draws it is a well-known erotic cartoonist, things happen.
Okay.
Yeah, things happen. Speaking of which, guys, speaking of things happening, I don't know. Are you guys on IndieCron?
Yes.
Yeah. Get over there, IndieCron.
Well, you're on IndieCron too.
I'm on IndieCron. I used to be part of IndieCron. I still have like the admin. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, because we're good friends with the guys over at IndieCron, Pixel Trader and whatnot. And IndieCron there, get listed, get seen, get in. Sometimes I forget to put that up there, but if you got an indie book, you definitely want to pop it up there on IndieCron, get a little bit more notice on that book. Randy from Indie Vote Radio, question comes in for you.
I thought it was Randy writing in again.
No. This question comes in. It's from last week, and the gentleman says, Randy, I feel bad for you guys drawing comics in America. In my country, the treatment is a bit better. It's a wonder why you stay in that horrible country. Wow. I need tools.
Well, Randy, no, that was addressed to me. Who's the guy writing?
It came from Hector.
Hector, we can't leave right now anyway. So we're stuck here. Even if we wanted to go, we can't. So
Hector's from like what, Venezuela?
We can't even get into Canada, and there's a huge wall now down around Mexico. So we try to cross the bridge in Canada, they turn us right around unless we are essential, whatever that means.
There's a way to get out the United States, but I got there, I checked the steps out, I said I can't go. And those are the steps.
It takes an extremely large box. Yeah.
Those are the steps. You can't climb them. You gotta start off on your left foot. It's impossible to start off on your right. It's ridiculous. yeah, not doing it. No, guys, I do.
But yeah, Hector, you're pretty right. The comic artists anywhere else but here in the States are treated a lot better than what we're treated here. It's just the way it is.
Todd, have you been treated better like outside of the country? Have you gone outside the country and like
As a
noticed that
comic
you're treated
artist?
better as an artist?
No, I've not gone outside the country. And I stopped going to conventions a long time ago. Then I went to two in the last 2 years, both in Florida, ironically enough. And they've changed a lot from when I first went. I mean, I used to go bring my. I live in Springfield, so New York City. They used to have the big thing at the Javits Center. That's only a train ride away. And so I used to bring my portfolio there, and so I would go to the New York convention, whether it was at the Javits Center or sometimes it'd be in this giant Marriott, the World Trade Center Marriott, by the way. So they've changed, right? The comic book artists and creators, especially this was the era of event comics. Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti, they were treated like rock stars. Now it's like a giant center for LARPing that just doesn't have any sword play, sort of.
Yeah.
So it's changed a lot, and
Are you describing Seattle?
the Artist Alley area, which is where, I mean, obviously I spend all my time just hooking up with people that I haven't seen in years. It's just like the only place where there's not people congregated in little groups of cliques, all dressed the same, or all dressed like in the same genre. And everywhere else, throughout the whole place, even where the vendors are, there's just people who know each other so well that they're just standing in a circle. It's almost like, you can't get around. And it just seems like what you're waiting for is like, yeah, break out into a big fight. I want to see some lightsabers and stuff. And they're just talking.
I went to an anime show with Dreaded Dinosaur, and I got hungry, as I usually do. And I said, I got to eat, man. I got to go find something. And so I walked through the hotel lobby, and there's a lot of people. Though they were very smart what they did. They made it so that you could not get into the convention center in Ghost. You could, but you'd be in they had like an eatery / mall area up front, very small, like probably no more than 15 stores, but it was built like a mall. And then you have to walk into the convention center area. This is in Kentucky. I think it's the Lexington Convention Center. But so they had this section, this long hall set up where it had you paid, you could get in there. And I called Lola because it's one of the few conventions that she didn't go to with me. And I told her, I said, I don't understand what's going on. She might remember this conversation. I'm sitting there eating my little Arby's burger. And I'm like, there are girls dressed as anime characters. And they're pretzeled up together. All wrapped up. It was like an orgy in there. And security's trying to tell them, hey, cut that out. You got girls in the corner, with another girl. They're wrapped up. It's like, come on.
Sounds like that furry phenomenon.
Yeah. And then, then
what is it? Yiffing? Is that what it is? Yiffing?
Yeah.
Yiffing.
Yeah. Sorry. I hate werewolves, so I don't like furries when they dress as werewolves. It scares shit out of me. Yeah, Lola loves furries. She takes pictures of furries every Comic-Con. I'm like, if you're feeling anything hard on his fur, it's probably baby batter. Straight from the man tap. Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
Ah, why did you have to go there?
Well,
Glad I ate earlier.
Is that
Did you guys
Chuck?
hear Grant Imahara from Mythbusters died today?
yeah, and also
Yes, Todd, that is Chuck. Pops Van Zant says, if all you listeners out there would like to interact with us live, tune into the Indie Vault YouTube channel. Join us.
Yeah. Pop over to Indie Vault on YouTube. We're here. We're friendly.
And if you can, you radio listeners, if you can get on YouTube, please like and subscribe the Indie Vault channel. We can use all the subscribers that we can get our hands on. Plus, ring that bell for notifications because you never know when Indie Vault's going to go live again.
What do you say, Lola?
I said, and they can see my pretty face.
And you can see Lola.
They can
Indie
see. They can
princess.
see Lola's pretty face. I'm actually. We actually got some Lola cards that we've done. Lola had cards made a long time ago, but so she's remade. We're making some new ones, and so yeah, I think we might give those out to subscribers. Lola egging me in the face with both eggs, or throwing a pie at me, calling me an ass boy.
Sup, ass boy.
Yeah, that'll be.
In the world.
Yeah, we get called all kind of names on the show. We got the first thing we ever got called was moon calves. And then we became the Sup Ass Boys because somebody messaged us and said, Sup Ass Boys. And yeah, there's the moon
There's
calf.
our moon calf.
And he did.
Yeah, they never call Lola.
I
Always,
just want to take their manly liquids.
Oh. Yeah, we've had that. Yeah, you guys should have been here for that one. A guy wanted to.
No. We don't have to. Go.
Yeah.
No, we've had man babies before.
We had man babies. Yeah, we've had man babies. We've had.
Kind of looks like a blonde.
And then there's
Was
that
it
guy.
Abrams?
I was aiming for Mark Wade, but that's a whole nother story.
And then I also have another question for you, Randy.
That's the diaper. Anyway, what?
Well,
Another
you need to have a balloon on the side that's fix it now.
Yeah.
Another question for you guys. This is from and I don't know this person's name. I cannot pronounce it. It looks like it is it looks like it's Kevin, but it's Cevina. Kavina from Indie Radio said,
Yeah.
"What's up
Kavina.
with artists? What's up with creators going to stores, comic stores, and basically begging to have a comic store carry your book? This seems really stupid to them, and they use another word I won't repeat here. But I think there's always the idea of having your book in the store alongside other comics. I did it my first book.
Not just that, but the local guys want to be carried by the local stores,
Yeah.
and Diamond goes out of their way to discourage any kind of alternative or independent comics from being distributed.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the artists themselves have to go into the comic shops and say, "Hey, I got a book. Would you, if you put it on your stands, I'll split the money with you 50-50."
Yeah.
Just to be in the local outlets.
Yeah. Well, I like for me, I took my book to a lot of stores, and they were very happy to have it. I was happy to have my book in there, and I did the geek thing. I did the comic book guy thing. I took a picture of my books, on the shelf, and posted them to social media at the time, and that was it. Now, I don't do that as much, but I will say, hey, my books are available at this store. But yeah, I think as you get a little bit, I don't want to say jaded, but maybe you start saying, yeah, the book's available at.
I mean, why wouldn't you want it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't.
I was really, adamant about having a retailer tier, which on our Indiegogo page is 6 books for the price of 4. Again, I mentioned a deal that we just made with all Florida stores. It's a little different, and they're going to get a little bit more. But we wanted to make sure that we had a retailer tier because they're hurting. You know what I mean? They're hurting. Yeah. Well, Steve Geppy just stopped. In the middle of a lockdown, he stopped. It doesn't mean, granted, good thing that
doesn't mean people don't need money.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because they're still paying a rent wherever they're, leasing their space from. So all of a sudden they have nothing to sell. They have no one who can come in. You can't have a Magic the Gathering tournament if you can't have people come in, but you could have done curbside. So you didn't really think it through and think, how do we help them? If this is the only thing they can do is curbside, then let's get them something that they can bring out to customers, because a lot of those stores have, kind of warped and changed and gone different direction. And so they do have spaces where they have tournaments and things, and tabletop gaming is very popular. But when you can't have people come in your store, then your only avenue is almost create like a little mini drive-through, and you weren't helping them. You did nothing. Yep. And your new comeback, your thing is a slogan based on word of mouth. We're going to come back better, or whatever it is.
It's a lousy sticker.
Yeah. So you're really.
That'll help the retailers make a lot.
Yeah, that's a completely different show. I don't want to
I have to say though, to jump off this topic just a little bit, I was very impressed about Skybound and Image kicking out the Negan book
Yeah, that was
out
cool.
to the retailers. I thought that was a really ace move, especially considering how so many of these others. You see what Marvel's done with theirs. Since they claimed pencils down, now they're trying to get a bunch of books rushed out to the shelf where all they did was put a silly logo down at the bottom of the cover with "On Sale Wednesday" written on it. No, just stop. That's stupid. You know, that no artist got paid for that except for maybe some guy who pasted it up. You did an entire line of your Marvel comics in one day. You know, that's no way to help the retailers out there.
And people sort of jumping on the bandwagon and criticizing DC's move. DC's move, let me give you the inside scoop on DC's move. If you don't realize it, there's a connection there. What that is if this were to happen again and Steve Geppi were to stop, well, then the companies that they got into business with as far as distribution also are the biggest mail to ship order companies in the world, Midtown Comics. So they don't have to have a stop again. If he stops, they can keep going. So what they did is put themselves in a place where they have a escape valve fallback plan. Boom, Lunar, I think it's ICS. Well, if there's a complete shutdown of the nation, well, now we'll just use Midtown Comics, and we'll still print weekly comics. We'll get them to them, and then they'll ship them out.
And I'll tell you what else that move really did that sincerely helped the retailers out more than they probably realized is when Geppi went down, when Diamond went down, they went down indefinitely, and they told everybody we're down indefinitely. And then DC swapped distributors, and all of a sudden Geppi's back up, and he's like going, we're coming back next week. We're going to grab whatever we can, and we're going to just start distributing. Competition is great for this market, and we haven't seen any competition when it comes to distributors in like 30 years. And now all it takes is one company to stand up and make that competition, and boom, all the big distributor who's been literally railroading this industry for the last 30 years to their whatever their whims, literally decide that, oh, well, wait, we're coming back now. Not only that, but maybe we'll wrap our comics in bubble wrap in order to appease the retailers to try to get some of this product to you in a decent, shape. Competition is what drives every free market, and DC jumping off to another distributor is forcing that competition to happen, and that's only seriously a great thing, whether the retailers want to see it as that or not.
Not only that, DC's getting to the store a day early, so they're not overwhelmed.
Right.
Because some of the things I understand what Geppi's been doing is shipping one box that has 2 or 3 things in it, and then another box that has 2 or 3 things in it, and those 2 boxes could have been together, and he's overcharging.
That's their way of stretching out that dollar and hurting not really hurting the retailer, but trying to milk money back to Diamond. Diamond's been hurting for years. As a company, because they and we've covered this before on the show. They literally went from 9,000 outlets back when they first went direct and convinced everybody that they were the only dog in town, down to 1,200. So that money, they've lost all of that money and all of those outlets and all of those retailers. And now that the virus has popped up, they decided they were going to be the dogs and stop everybody. And all that does is it's going to cripple the market. Now their numbers are even less. And now that DC has left, they're even less than that. So
they lost one of their big gaming clients too.
So let's see that competition sharpen their game in order to help. And let's see them, as well as the distributor, the guys who are distributing Luna and what is the other one? Comic Kingdom, right? That are out there. Let's see them all sharpen their game and go after new clients and expand this freaking industry, and make it even more viable and more solid, so that they don't have to go down again.
Well, I mean, other than Alterna, is anybody doing independent distribution?
nobody that's organized. And Alterna's not quite organized yet either, but he will be. He'll get up there in the next couple of months.
Yeah, but he's working on it. I mean, he's asked me
He
to
is.
do,
He's
do
really
books
working
before.
on it. Yeah.
But there's also, I know Tim Lim is working on Iconic Comics. He's working on turning that into like a little Antarctic press.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of, because Antarctic Press is basically an independent public. I mean, they're more or less like a, God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Mess.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, they're helping independents come out. I can't remember but they do help, independent ideas come out as comic books and everything. And Iconic Comics with Tim Lim, he's trying to do that too. I mean, he's got like an entire like fulfillment system that you can get a part of if you're an indie if you are like an independent publisher. You can get in touch with him, and he will help you with fulfillment.
We have way too many banners up here. I was going to grab that. There it is.
Ralph says, "Amen."
Antarctic Press, founded in 1984.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
Ralph says,
Never mind.
"Amen." Fuck a distribution monopoly.
Yeah.
Orwell?
Orwell?
It was a cautionary tale, people, not an instruction manual.
It seems to be, though.
Stop the
MBSOZ.
madness. Stop it.
Stop the
MBSOZ says, "Diamond is not going to sharpen shit. They've been comfortable in their BS for too long."
Yep.
I have to.
Well, you know what happens to companies that do that?
Well, look at
they
what
die.
the sad thing is that company has been the industry, and they've gotten lazy, they've gotten stagnant, and they've let those numbers drop, and not bothered to do anything about expanding the market. Back when, if you look back when Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman first came out, comics literally exploded. Batman was a huge hot ticket. Everybody was wearing the Batman symbol on their T-shirt and all of that. That same thing should be carrying over to the retailers every time an MCU movie comes out. And it's Marvel's and Diamond's fault that that's not happening.
Yeah, Marvel missed the
Marvel
biggest
publishing.
opportunity of
Marvel and DC
lifetime.
both have missed opportunity after opportunity on this.
Yeah, but like
it's sickening.
when you're pushing, identity politics.
Yeah.
When RDJ is selling billion-dollar movies,
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, after that pregnant pause, where do we go from here?
Sorry about that. I was just checking the numbers. IndieVote
What are
Radio
the
numbers. IndieVote Radio numbers are nice and good. I like these numbers. We're sitting right now at 1 second. I'm sorry, I had to reload.
Well, you can't worry about your bandwidth. You've already paid for more.
Oh yeah. I don't really worry about the bandwidth that much any longer. I used to worry about the bandwidth. I will again once we start climbing again. Right now we're sitting. Yeah, I'll be mad about that. We're sitting at 59,604 people. Actually,
What?
6 people left.
59, 59.
Yep, 59,000.
That's a new record.
It's almost. It's all. It's. I think it is a new record. Actually, it's.
I know.
I have to check. They'll tell me tomorrow if it's a new record.
They'll tell me tomorrow.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
They'll really tell them if we get up over 75. They'll be like,
if we can get to,
pay us. Yeah.
If we can get to 500 backers before the end of the show, whoever that 500 backer is, I will make them the ladies' valet. If we can do that before 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That'd be cool.
It's a $1,200 free gift to you if you're the 500th backer by 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, that's a $1,200 tier.
If we can tick that up, they're at $429 now.
Yeah. Let me see here.
The 500th backer
Yeah, so pop over there.
gets a role in the book.
Crash the site if you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't renewed this.
Can you imagine a mad rush going to the site to just get a horrible stress test? I stress test our sites a lot, but I couldn't imagine some of these companies what they have to go through.
I don't know. I feel like
That's
you should get
Florida
somebody that
Man.
speaks
2
another
words
language.
on Indiegogo.
I want to get my girlfriend in here and have her talk Norwegian. See if that pulls some of the Norway.
Well, I would imagine they're not listening to us unless they can understand us.
Yeah, like,
Either that or they're pointing and laughing, going, silly Americans.
Probably a little bit of both.
hey,
Yeah,
these-
probably. Hopefully we're entertaining you out there. We appreciate all of you listening on Indie Volt Radio.
they're like, hey, these guys do comics. They make a living at it.
Comics.
Yeah, let's laugh at them. Let's write in and call them obscure, rude names that no one knows.
Pop says that is awesome.
Yeah.
Pop says we
Real-
need to get him worried about his YouTube channel now. Subscribe to Indie Vault, please.
Yes, it'll be very cool if you pop over there and subscribe. We love our subscribers, and we try to do as much as we possibly can for them. We do pop-up shows before. Randy's got motivated to. So we gotta go live right now.
If you
Just
get
jump in,
1,000, get 1,000 Indie Vault subscribers, and Randy will dance in a tutu.
No. I'm sorry, that's not the way that works.
What did you say, Lola?
No.
What did you say, Lola?
If we get 1,000
Maybe
subscribers,
Lola,
I'm
on the
doing
other
some
hand,
special trading
might
cards.
be better dancing in a tutu. But
What did you say, Lola? You gonna do?
I'm doing some special trading cards if we get 1,000 subscribers,
uh-oh.
and they
They'll be signed, so that's cool. That's
And
cool.
there'll be special.
Yeah, special.
Is she gonna,
Oversized cards.
Is it going to be like, is she going to kiss them or something? What's going to happen with that?
Are you gonna kiss the cards?
Well,
or?
that's a whole different tier.
Yeah.
I still think people want to see Randy in a tutu and a wig. I'm just saying.
Nobody wants to see me in a tutu. No.
Randy's like, no.
I don't know.
I got a wig coming.
Todd, that means you got to draw it.
Yeah. Flint guy. We'll call it Flint guy.
That's what escapism is for.
Flip man.
Yeah, Flint
It's a different kind of sup ass boy.
Yeah.
I used to do a editorial cartoon. A guy who dressed up as a superhero called it Citizen Flint, that we ran in our local political paper. Yeah, that was fun. He used to run around on a little foot scooter and throw rolls of duct tape around. Yeah, real Flint.
I'll tell you this. I remember going to a Comic-Con with another publisher, and he was getting really upset. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, he has a company, comic publisher based out of Flint, and there was a gentleman who we tell people, hey, we're a local company. We're from, because he was doing a convention, Comic-Con, and down in Novi, Michigan, which is about what, Randy, you say an hour from Flint?
No, about 45 minutes top.
45 minutes, okay. Yeah. And he's like, we're from Flint, Michigan, and we got a character. The character's from Flint, and this guy's like, does he get his powers from the water? And it's like, dude, like, this man lives in Flint. His children have been affected by that water, and you're making jokes. And I could see this particular publisher, like, he'd bite his lip and just be like, you can think he's thinking, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
But, so it got pretty old. But, it was like, I mean, I do a lot of Randy shows, and I go up to Flint. It was about 45 minutes from my house.
Yeah. And
I go up there, and I was at one of his shows, and they had a Flint shirt. As a matter of fact, I wore it a couple of days ago. And it's Flint. It says Flint. It's a black shirt, white words across it, but the I had been replaced for a water bottle. And
well, that's a lot better than the ones that they wear around here that has Flint, where the L is changed for a handgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
used to drive me crazy. I could see the water bottle one instead of the I. That's.
But Randy, you're in the safe water area.
I'm barely 2 miles south of the safe water line, but I have a daughter and granddaughter that's in the midst of it. Yeah. They've replaced her line already, though. She's one of the few that have actually had new lines put in.
What is the Viking Yoda thing behind you?
Viking Yoda. Why? That's what it is.
Oh, well, okay then.
He's watching us always.
Yeah, apparently.
Always.
All I can see is Randy running across the stage like Cheech Marin. My mama sock it to me, try to tell me how to live.
Not gonna happen, Pops.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. We possibly will do a podcast.
That's a reference back to the originally at Motor City Con. The only cosplayer that would walk around was a guy dressed as Wonder Woman. He was Wonder Woman. Yeah. Whoa, man.
Well, it's a harkening back to Shakespearean plays, right?
Yeah.
Where all the dudes, played every part.
He was happy to he was happy to do it.
Let's take a look back at the
and it was a Linda Carter Wonder Woman outfit too.
With the hips.
With the high cut and yeah.
That lady still got it, and she's like 60 something.
Yes, yep, she does.
Let's take a look back at the art from Florida Man that Todd leaked out on us today.
Have you ever gone bow fishing, Todd?
Have I ever gone? No. Well, yes, mud carp. It's a reel. It's a bow with a reel on it too.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I have mud carp.
Yeah,
I
they
forgot
usually it's usually like mudfish because they're big.
Mm.
They're
And
big.
you can kind of, they're in like shallow enough where you kind of see their bodies. You know, you see.
Yeah, but you still gotta like I don't know you like the reflection of the light off the water can sometimes like mess up your aim. You know, you got to figure it out.
Yeah,
But once
the
you adjust for
refraction.
that, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason the artist says, "Does Indie Volt have any T-shirt merchandise? I'll start wearing some merch around Japan to spread word about the show."
Ooh.
That would be kind of cool if he's out walking Japan. People look Indie Volt, Indie Volt.
Florida
Yeah,
Man
That'd be
has-
hilarious.
We do have some. We do have some shirts. I think I designed one, and it's in the store. I have to check that out and see if it's actually up and available for sale. But yeah,
Maybe we should have some done up and start giving them away as prizes, especially for reaching.
Well, I mean,
different
you can just go
goals of
through one of the
viewership.
print-on-demand services. I go through
Yeah.
TeePublic. Sins of the Fae is on TeePublic, so
Wow,
Nice.
we can.
I can get them.
You can get,
Buddy's got a great logo. Very good logo. It's. Well, you explained it on the
not
last.
that one.
it says it available.
Sins of the Fae logo is a tree, and it's got all these weapons in it, and it's very unique.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
see.
there's the silver tree, which is Yggdrasil,
Mhm.
and then Yggdrasil bears all the sins and the Fae and everything else. And if you look within the blood and the pain of sins, there's like an axe, there's a bow, there's spears, there's swords. It's a very it says the whole story, or the the whole narrative of the story in just the logo.
There's a. I once you mentioned the tree was there, I couldn't unsee it after that. Like at first, I thought it was the tree, and then I was like, "Oh, I see it now. That's cool."
Yeah.
And your book, sir, is 23 days left. Now, are you finished? Are you still working on it? You got pages left? Where are we at in terms of completion?
That's Sins
We've
of
still
the
got
Fae.
about 6 pages left, but we're trying to do some more promo work to get a bit more word out. So we're doing like a promo spread with the new villainess Rowena. It's going to be really cool, and we're working on that. We'll hopefully get it out in the next week or so. But other than that, I mean, like I said, we've only got about 6 pages out of 48 left to go. It's pretty much done. I mean, and we've still got 3 months of production, so we're going to be well within our target. It may be before, and if it is, we'll send it out early.
That's Sins of the Fae. That's FAE on Indiegogo. Check it out. Look it up.
Yep. You can look. It's easy. sinsofthefae.com.
Yep.
.com.
Buy in if you can. It's a
All right, guys.
great looking book. Go ahead. Sorry.
And then we're gonna pop back over to 1 second.
Jason says, "Yeah, let me know. I'll advertise in a heartbeat for my mentor's show. 100%."
Notice me, senpai.
We are. There we go. I got it. Man, I got so many browser windows open. It is getting to the point where
All you got to do is tell me what you need. I can get it from here.
I'm gonna have to pull up. I'm gonna have to buy a third monitor soon. Lola says no, but
It's right along with that file cabinet that you keep on.
oh yeah. Well, I was lucky to get the
And the
second
pole in
monitor.
your house that you've been threatening to get for the longest time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
The brass pole.
the brass pole. All right,
While you're
graphic novel. There it is, right there.
All right.
429 backers. You heard the gauntlet being drawn now. 500 backers. The 500th backer will be drawn in as a ladies wrestling valet. So if we're done by 1 o'clock, was that Eastern Standard Time, God, or was that?
You know what? I'll even push that to 6 a.m.
Oh,
Eastern Standard Time. And if we can get to the 500th mark, whoever the 500th backer is, they'll become one of the ladies' valets, and that's a $1,200 tier. That it'll be a present to you.
Believe me, if you
First
go to
show audience.
if you go to Indiegogo and take a look at this project, you're going to want to back it anyway, no matter what number backer that you are.
just try to race of everybody and just hit it. Like Who's backing? Who's backing? I'm gonna get number 500. It's me. Buy 2. Let's keep buying the campaign over and over and over and over again until you get to 500. Even if they did that right now, I think they would still be cheaper than 1,200. They just buy up to 1,200. Jason says, Varian, do you got the triple monitor set like most streamers do on Twitch? No, I have 2 monitors. I have let me turn my camera on. I'm not feeling that well, but so I got the monitors in front of me. It's a 35 inch monitor in front of me here, and then I got a small little 27 inch right here. It's turning portrait mode. So that I can pull stuff over. I used to keep Twitter up here, and then I realized that I follow a lot of porn stars. That's it.
That's why that monitor is off, just so you don't have to look at his porn.
Yeah, and sometimes Twitter would the Twitter would upload reload, and I'd see there'd be a young lady or a young man on the screen enjoying themselves, and I wouldn't see it until like
really enjoying themselves.
There is a indie vault where if you're not careful, you do see it. Well, you could be if you're careful, have a sharp eye, you'll see my Twitter reload because I follow everybody. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll follow you. What's no? Bella Danger, no problem, follow. And then I realize that I'm strolling through and she posts pictures of herself. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I can't let my son go to my Twitter. William Russell's angry artist in the house. That's me, William. No.
What's up? No, not what's up.
William Russell, like that picture you got.
It's sup, Ass Boys.
I like the picture of the Batman of Last you got up there. I've been listening to that story and reading a bit of it now. So I didn't read it at first, but it's a long story. So I'll get through it. Long. Yeah, I would get a triple monitor set up, but like I said, you heard Lola. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to sneak a triple monitor in here. I'll figure it out.
And you need a new computer first. I'm sorry.
You need a new computer first? Okay. All right.
For school.
Yeah,
man.
I built a new computer. You guys can't see it, but it's got all this RGB and lights inside of it. It's really cool looking. Yeah. So guys, listen, if you want to back in these campaigns, they're all on Indiegogo tonight. Randy and I really like the Indiegogo platform. We like Kickstarter too. It's fine. I got some campaigns I backed on Kickstarter. But I do like Indiegogo because it seems that, from what I understand, they give a little bit more to the creator, and that money is sorely always needed and appreciated. Because like Randy said, some people spend hours on these pages. Some people spend days, months. We just had a gentleman that wrote in. He took 120-page comic, I think it was, in 3 months. Mm-hmm. That's some serious drawing, and unfortunately for him, we won't tell this story right now, but unfortunately for him, it's not gonna, he's being kind of.
Well, you were still supposed to double check some facts on.
Yeah, I've been double checking, and we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, next week.
Next week. The thing we want to really point out, though, is that if you're not going over to these campaigns because they're on Indiegogo and you have some sort of preconceived notion about what books are on Indiegogo, you're really not doing your research. You're not looking at the quality and at what these products are all about. Don't get a bad mindset that, oh, I only have to back books on Kickstarter, or, oh, I only back books on Indiegogo. We show stuff from both companies. It's just that right now, Indiegogo is where all of the, in my opinion, where a lot of the really prime projects are at. And you need to go and look around and even when you get some time, surf the site and take a look at some of the projects that are out there. We're pulling out the ones that we're really proud of, with folks that are on here trying to push their wares that really love this stuff. And so most of them are apolitical, and incredibly entertaining. And you really need to take the time to look and back these projects if at all possible.
Jason says 120 pages. It was 90 days. Holy crap! Yeah, he really put in a lot of work. It actually affected his health.
It did. He was sick.
He got sick right around the end of it.
That's part of a longer story that we will get into at another time.
Yeah. William says, what's the difference between the two platforms? William, from what I understand, well, one, Indiegogo, again, they give you a little bit more money. They take a little less from the creator. Also, Indiegogo has a couple of cool things they do, which they allow you to borrow, or not borrow, but take some of the money from your campaign. I forget what percentage it is, and I'm pretty sure there's a cost for it. But you can take some of your money from your campaign if you need to maybe pay the artist to complete something, or maybe get a sketch cover, or not sketch cover. I'm sorry, a variant cover, and you hire that expensive ass variant grant to do you a cover, and he's like, yeah, I need beer money, so send me $2,000.
Yeah, but you need to be, if you run a campaign like this, you need to be very conscious of your expenditures and your overhead and be very
Mhm.
careful. Like everybody says, once you get that money, it goes into an account, and you don't touch that money until for anything for personal use until everybody and everything is paid, everybody's shipped, and that money that's left over is what is actually profit.
I've heard people say that Indiegogo is where you go when you have an audience. Kickstarter is where you go when you want one. I don't know if I believe that.
I've heard people say that Kickstarter is probably going to become the MySpace of crowdfunding.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. So it's William says what so you can take from the bank, so to speak. What happens if it doesn't fund? Well, that's why you have different choices. You could do a flex goal on your campaign, or you can do a
At Indiegogo, flexible goal means it's coming out.
Yeah.
But to whoever or how few that we make it, it's coming out.
Yeah.
Where a fixed goal means I need this much in order to be able to fulfill the book, in order to get it out to people. If I don't hit that mark, I'm not going to do the book.
Right.
That's why it's always, if you listen to the program for a while, we always run a lot of good hints. Plus, we use a lot of examples of people and the foibles, because it's so easy to be tripped up doing this. It really here on Indie Volt, you get a free master class on crowdfunding, at no charge, other than just picking us up and listening to us. Because we've had a lot of examples here of people that have been very successful, and a lot of examples here of people that have just stumbled and fallen flat on their face in horrible ways.
Remember the guy who bought the concert tickets?
Yeah, the guy bought the guy who printed the book and slapped the mailing label on the back cover and just mailed them out to everybody.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of great examples, and all of our program, most all of our programs are available for listening over on where Indie Volt,
YouTube,
YouTube,
also,
number of places. There's archives for this stuff, so go back and give it a listen.
Also, another question for you guys, and this is the last question from Indie Volt Radio, which is one of our themes tonight. People are talking about an underground network of, and we joked about it earlier, hashtag deep state. Have any of you felt that your careers have been stymied or slowed by the deep state? And if so, are you a part of it? My man Todd's hand is up quick as hell. Let's go to Todd.
Yeah. This goes back a few years ago, and I did this as my very first episode on my YouTube channel. There's a colorist out there, right? She's in that group of the Whisper Network, and I really always admired, whenever she would post a page, because she really didn't do that a lot. I'd say, wow, I really love the work you're doing on Wayward, excellent work. Even today, even though I'm sorry, I'll go back to where I was.
You can be blunt, just don't name names. Remember that.
No, I won't name names. I was against the idea of there being a Gwen Stacy, right? Gwen Stacy is a character that's very important to the Spider-Man mythos. So when Ben said what he said to Peter Parker, and then she died, is that aha moment. I get it. I get what my uncle was talking about.
Mhm.
With great power comes great responsibility. They'll go after people I love. So there's two characters that happen in the first 15 issues of Spider-Man that are so important to what he is, who he becomes, and why it's important for him to go about things the way he does. Now, 20 years later, we have this alternate cover. didn't have to be Gwen Stacy that you put in that costume, but the costume was so great they decided, oh, we'll make this, Spider Gwen, and then we'll have Gwenpool. So I thought those characters to me were an abomination. So I said that. That didn't go favorably with that community. Those are characters that they love. To me, they're legacy icon characters that have been mishandled and mistreated. Again, they're abominations. So I was put on a blacklist. That blacklist has a ton of names, and I'm there. One of those names was Megan Fox. Not really the Megan Fox that I thought, but I saw that name Megan Fox and I thought, oh, freaking cool. I was just put on a list with Megan Fox. So I'm like, I don't know anything about CG. Nothing about CG. I go find out, I investigate, I kind of see, oh, this is why they put me on this list. Some of these people believe the same things. You don't do this to Thor and do not that wasn't a great story, by the way. That might have been one of the better stories told, but you don't just change and swap and just force agenda politics into your comics and then force yourself, the type of creators you are, force yourself into the narrative because you're a little different. You represent 1% of the world. So now we're going to force ourselves into those comics, which is kind of weird to me, by the way. But I'm against that. The number one rule is I'm here to entertain you, pull you into the narrative, and bring you some escapism. Superheroes fight supervillains for super stakes. I've always believed that, and that's not what you're getting. So yeah, I ended up on a list because of this colorist, whose work I still like. She was part of the book of the year for me, is Once and Future. I've touted that book. I've shared covers from that book. I've written original posts about that book, and she happens to be the colorist of that book. So I don't, just because you got mad at me and put me on your list doesn't mean I don't enjoy your work, because your work is professional. It's a good quality. Wayward you took over for John Rauch, and you made that work your own. It was a beautiful looking book. So yeah, I ended up a target. Today, I'm even bigger target. They think I'm Penny Parker, who wrote that article for Bleeding Fool, which is kind of weird because they see the association, they see what the book's doing. They go, oh, this is Chris Brawley's book from Bleeding Fool. This guy's over here sharing the article like crazy, getting all kinds of attention. He must be the writer. I see the loose association. I didn't write that article. I wish I had infiltrated your group, because I would have dumped the whole thing, one kit and caboodle, on the entire world, to show that, hey, this is what's going on. Now, granted, you want to get the creeps out of the industry, understand that. I'm all for that. But as much as I am against misogyny, I'm also against misandry.
And so you will say that you've been unfairly targeted by the Whisper Networks, by the Secret Underground. I mean, I joke about it not existing, but then again, when you see proof like that article, when you see Facebook groups, you think, oh man, this are they really like getting together to like plot out cancellations on people? Look, when I was a teenager, I did teenager things. I said teenager things.
Mm-hmm.
I was stupid. Yeah. When I was a teenager, I was a hot looking chick. Yeah. How you think I got all those nice meals at Steak and Shake? I had to ditch the guy though when it was time to, he's like, hey, what's up, prom date? I was like, oh, I gotta go. Plus I have to keep shaving my freaking beard. But no, the thing is, I think anytime people get together, I don't care what side you're on, and you decide, well, we're going to cancel this person for no good reason. I mean, listen, there's so many people out there who've done actual wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
like actual wrong,
actual
should be ushered
wrong.
out.
Yep.
And they aren't. It's shocking
because
and
they're in with that crowd, and they just ignore. Oh yeah, you're fine. He's still in the business. They're still there. But everybody else, folks that have done a lot less, are just completely canceled and shoved out. Anyway, there's a soapbox story.
Pop says canceling someone is easier than beating them for their job. Yeah, because you're not gonna beat them for the job. You're just gonna get them canceled. B Lord, have you been targeted by any secret underground networks?
No, I mean the closest thing I've ever had to that is the reason why I made the comic book in the first place, which is where I went to in a book convention, like a novel convention, a writing convention in New Orleans, and like Anne Rice was there, and you could pay a good amount of money to actually be put in front of an editor, an agent, and a couple agents, and like the people that are like the actual gatekeepers of the novel industry. And so they read Sins of the Fae, and they were like, "This is really good." And the editor was like, he's like, "I was hoping I could take this to market, but now that I've seen you, I can't." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm sorry, man. We just can't market a white guy."
Well,
that's what he told me. He's like, "We just, we can't market a white guy
What
in
was
the
your
novel
response?
industry right now." I was flabbergasted. It was just kind of silent, stunned. I mean, what do you say to that?
Yeah.
This is these are like, people write sometimes thousands of queries, which is where you write like a short synopsis of your book, you send it to an agent, and you pray that like they'll like it enough and they'll take it to an editor, right? I was sitting in front of an editor and two agents, and they looked at me and said, "Your book is great. We can't market it because you look like a white dude." I'm I'm half Japanese and half Irish, but they're like, "You look like a white guy." And I was like, okay.
I wouldn't know how to respond to that. I don't think I'd have the moxie to tell anybody that. I mean, look, I've told people I don't know how to market this book. It's nothing against that person. I want the work to stand. Like, I don't know how to market this book. I don't know who the audience is.
It's amazing that they were as forthright as they were.
Well, I think it's just kind of a culmination of the times. I mean, you look at it like what does it mean, that couple in St. Louis, that like were defending their home with guns. They just had their guns taken away. The cops came in, and then the group that had accosted them came back. And the only reason they were protected is because they're rich enough to afford private security. But what I mean is, like, it's just the kind of blatant racism. I mean, what Nick Cannon said today, that white people were like a mutation. They were less than human, but that's okay.
See that's. I mean, like my wife is white, so it's like well, yeah, she's Italian, but it's like it's like this. I told her when
it's a difference between white bread and Italian bread.
Yeah, that's Italian
Same
bread.
thing.
But she, I feel bad because like, my son has had trouble fitting in at school. He goes to predominantly white school, and some kids said some things to him, and the teacher jumped right on it. And I would hope that if there's some racism going on, that they would fix it and adjust and adjust those kids' way of thinking. Because it's really scary out there. Rob says you should have used your white privilege card and said it's okay. I got the WP. Jim O'Reilly says there are people who have had bad experiences of individuals in CG and then blame and lump everyone who used the hashtag into their bad experiences. There are asshats in and out of CG. I say just because I buy someone's work doesn't mean I endorse them as a human.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, I'm kind of glad that Rob is in the chat because hopefully he heard. Look, I made some posts. I shared out that article. I threw a few little vague things in there, but just to say, what, this is the opposite of what they're going after. They're going after misogynists, but they're acting here. You could see some areas where they're acting like misandrous. So, and I commented on one of Rob's posts, and he took that comment down. But no one in any of my posts ever acted, hey, were you targeted? No one. Everyone came out against me. Everyone started telling me, "Oh, so you're the person who wrote this article." You know what? I'm not the person who wrote the article, but you never asked me my story. You never really cared. You just wanted to jump on me thinking that I have a problem with what they're doing. I don't have a problem with everything they're doing. I have a problem when they do it and it's innocent. Look, if I was Mick Jagger and you come to me and say, "Hey, I'll sleep with you to play the drums tomorrow," and we go, "All right, great." Don't come back 20 years later and say, "You know what? I only got to play the drum once. I only got to play the drum once because, and he didn't give me a leg up in the industry. I never made it into a band." That's a little crazy. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on today. And I know I just used a vague example, and I don't mean anything by it, but if you're really against misogyny, you should be against condoning misandry. It's the same thing. Let them take care of the creeps. If they want to get the creeps out of their industry, hey, they can go police it. But when they do things to good people like Sean Gordon Murphy for just doing a cover for a friend who they were friends for 20 years, that's ridiculous. To go after him, and now he feels so targeted that he has to leave Twitter because, again, the love bombing story. I don't know if you guys ever covered that one. That's Magdalene Visaggio, aka Brian, who's acting like I thought I would get some of his shine for just sitting down and having a talk with him. What? What do you mean? What did he actually do? He didn't come on you. He didn't promise you anything, but you thought you'd get his shine? Come on, guys. If you want to let the world go to this crazy place, then don't say anything, don't speak up about it, and erase my comments. Fine. But I'm going to stick up for what I believe.
Ralph says, I hate all the reimagining of old established characters. Tell your what ifs and Elseworlds, your new universes and the Earth 2s, but is it that hard to write good stories of our old favorites? Ralph also says that there's room for all kinds of minority characters and female heroes. Just write them. If they're good and interesting, the readers will come. Yep. Pop said, Rob did what? Remove the comment? No. Anderson, Rob says, I deleted the comment that was made after yours. It was nasty, and I don't want you getting bad feedback while you're live. The comments sounded you were against abuse, I think, yeah. But also victim blamed. I don't know if I'm not familiar with the comments. But that's because
it was just a comment where I was saying basically his post was almost as if he were sharing that same article, and I was just basically saying, you know what, we can't let this stand. I think his was about Warren Ellis. And Warren Ellis is being accused. None of those people have went to the police, right? They created a website. Let's go tell our stories on this website how Warren Ellis slept with us, basically, because you can't. If you're an adult, you can't be groomed, right? That's not what grooming means. Don't distill that word. That's a very bad word and a very, very bad, illegal thing to do. What you did is you were looking for a leg up in the industry. You wanted to become writers. You wanted to get into comics. Maybe you were artists, and you made an arrangement with a man, and that was. You thought, I trade you this and you give me that. I get some of your shine. You maybe write a forward for my book, as in the case of Neil Gaiman, but we won't go to that story. So that's what that was. Now, if you felt like a victim and you are truly a victim, then go to your local police and tell them what happened and explain that story. But all of you are saying, we don't want to cancel Warren. We just want to tell these stories. Those are stories of groupies.
Well, we know they will go to the local police because the police show up, and that's a joke. That's a joke for me.
Another story for another time. We are closing out on the 2-hour mark, my friend.
Jim O'Reilly says, how about they let the law and HR departments handle the actual creeps? Now Sean Gordon Murphy is on his Twitter. Ridiculous. Yeah, I heard about that. We are approaching 2-hour mark, so it's time to end the show. Let's get a final telling of where these fine individuals can be listened to, and you can pick up their work and contact them. And
what's our number before we start doing that? What's our ending number?
1 second. Okay. So I'm getting 62,000. One second.
62.
Yeah, 62,022. So yeah. I'll take that.
Make sure you make a screen cap of that.
Oh, I screen cap them all now, and they keep them for me now too. So, I need to edit some things because people will try to log in and try to log in, hack the radio. Next thing I know, I'll be playing porn sounds from the underground for 3 hours.
Has that happened before? That would really help your numbers.
No, it happened to someone else's radio station and a fellow radio station internet.
Just pull out the old Barry Manilow collection and see how that affects your numbers.
Oh man, let me tell you something. BMI and ASCAP will come for you. Take your station down.
I'm sure they will.
Hit you with all types of fines.
Yep.
So yeah, buddy, where can they find you at, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at the Buddy Lord, and you can also join the mailing list for Blade Knight Productions, which is my publishing company, at bladenight.com. That's BLADENITE.com. And then you can purchase Sins of the Fae on Indiegogo at sinsofthefae.com.
Excellent, excellent. Go over there and back that on Indiegogo tonight. Also, while you got your wallet out, you need to go check out Florida Man, which I can share.
You can find me. I use my real name, Todd Maroney, at Indiegogo. I mean, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So you can find me that way. Let me just say, I'm against harassment.
Mhm.
I'm against abuse. I'm against grooming. I'm against misogyny, but I'm also against misandry. Let's not confuse what this is really about. Okay? If there's a victim, then let's do this right and get that victim justice. But if there is no victim, then just creating a website to smear a man's life, I'm not really for that.
I can understand that. I can understand your feelings on that,
Yeah.
Todd.
Florida Man on Indiegogo.
Florida Man,
Florida
that
Man,
book.
2 words. Look
it.
at it. Get it if you like it. You're gonna like it. when you
All
see
the
it.
things Todd
It's good.
dislikes are not in that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are not in that book. So
It is a
It
pure
is about
funny book.
subculture. It is
Yeah.
about a culture. It leans into those memes, hashtags, and websites all about Florida Man, with the zany, crazy headlines, and basically it's if our guy had done all those things, so he's the quintessential Florida Man, Gary Duba.
And if you want to get your question in, you can do that. It's pretty easy. IndieVote Live at indievote.com. You can send a question into that email. Include IndieVote Live in the subject field, and please keep those emails to 90 words or less so I can make pretty graphics. And if you want to be a part of that massive number of people tonight, which is always growing, you can do that too. Google Play, IndieVote Radio. Also, check it out on Stream if you have an iPhone. Download the streaming app. You're going to type in IndieVote Radio. You can also find us on Alexa. You can ask Alexa to play IndieVote Radio, and she will do that for you. She may have to learn the skill, but it's fairly easy. Also, IndieVote TV. I'm sorry, IndieVote TV on the Roku. It is free. And it is over top streaming network, much like Netflix, but completely free. Indie movies and some exclusive content from IndieVote. These shows that we don't put online.
I
Oh,
didn't
you
know
want to say
that.
something?
That's
But
awesome.
who? No. What? No. What? If you and again, if you have a situation, a question, something that you think our audience can learn from, feel free to write that into IndieVolt at indievolt.com or IndieVolt Live at indievolt.com. Include IndieVolt Live in the subject. Please keep the emails to 90 words or less, just so Varian doesn't have to wear out his fingers. And no question is too silly. No question is too serious. We love to talk about the industry here. And remember, your feedback will be better because of, or our feedback will be better because of your setback. Hashtag get an education. Hashtag IndieVolt.
Nice. Very nice.
I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can find me at Facebook and Twitter. Also, the Zim Geek channel, ZIMMGEEK, over on YouTube. Learn how to cartoon and get a little bit of comic opinion there at the same time. Plus, here on IndieVolt, we're going to be back Thursday morning for the Breakfast Buzz at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Is there a Geekgasm tomorrow?
Yeah, program though. No Geekgasm tomorrow.
No Geekgasm tomorrow.
No Geekgasm tomorrow. But we hope that she will return with a new show next Wednesday. Art of War though this Friday.
Don't miss the Art of War this Friday at 9 p.m. where we get a group of artists together. Varian finds a bizarre topic for them to draw, and then they all draw for your votes. The winning vote actually gets a prize.
Yeah, and it's pretty much Eric's job now to find the horrible topic. But yeah.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
Eric, I just thought he was hosting and you were picking, but that's okay.
And then we can't forget too, Devil's Advocate Rob show Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where Rob takes a very controversial topic. They get in the room and they yell at each other for about a good, I think, an hour or two. Good entertainment.
So, and you never know when IndieVolt will be popping up, especially if there's breaking news.
That's right. Also, check out indievote.com for the latest news. We try to keep essential news up there, relevant news up there. And our job on Indie Vote is to inform you, not influence you. That's one of the things that we stand by with the site.
If there's breaking news out there, we'll break it.
Until then, guys, we'll see you soon. This has been an Indie Vote production. We are not owned by Disney yet, but we are available. See you guys soon.
Take care, everybody.